Hi doing everybody, it's me Trader Max here from the Shogun, the ANvil MVM 2.5 bot, and we're going to be talking about some advanced trading skills today called cross-hatching, and we're going to be talking about forging the volume while we shape the chart. Let's get started. Okay, so we're back. Now, listen, cross-hatching is something that I coined a long time ago when I was dealing with Forex. I've been trading Forex at one point or another for about 20 years, even probably more than that from back in the day of taking boxes of money into the bank. I learned a long time ago there's more than one way to strategize, and when you can take those strategies and overlay them, they're like cross-hatching, if you will, like in drawing, like little lines are going across the screen. Now, this is an advanced trading of volume and market making. So this is not for the light of heart, but this is also not a heavy risk either. You're using the same amount of volume and process as you would by trading at a higher level, heavy level, and you can intermediate just about any level of those you can kind of mess with. I'm just going to show you one example today, but you can kind of think of thousands of different ways to change up the way things go, and I'm going to show you some of that here in a second. Now, before we get started, if you're watching this video for the first time and you don't know what the ANvil MVM is, it stands for Market Volume Maker, okay? Now, it's a precision trading bot that we trade with Solana meme coins. It uses a ratio system like 2-to-1 buy to sell ratio volume ratio systems, but it uses it in a particular way, not to bundle it, not to hide it, not to fake it, right? It boosts your DEX visibility and creates relevance to the site, to the coin, because you've all been there before where your coin like disappears from Phantom if it's not registered and all that kind of stuff, okay? It's fully customizable, meaning the amount, the interval, and the strategy that you're going to use. There's many different ways to use it, so the bot's pretty powerful. It has an affiliate program. It has a DCA process, which I'm going to talk about in another video, and we can cross-hatch. That's right, we can use our system here to cross-hatch the program and in the strategy. And I think once you really get this down underneath your belt, you're really going to like it. Let's begin. Okay, let's talk about the key features in cross-hatching. We're taking basic layers of multiple trading strategies and overlaying them together to where you're not just have a bunch of 2-to-1 ratio trades and it's all the same amount and it's all the same system. It's going to overlap it and allow it to trade different intervals and different amounts and different levels of timing, you know, so that interval timing meets transactional value is very powerful. It creates that overlapping, which does what we call volume pressure, and allows it to look from the DEX's point of view. We're not just talking about abundance, we're talking about real trades happening and no bundle network in there to make it look like it's doing it, but we are actually talking about creating multiple points of attack that it's coming at, so the DEX gets a real understanding, like there's real trades happening. Doesn't have to be a lot, they just have to be real, okay? It creates more consistent and effective than just using a single strategy on anything, and allows it to take advantage of itself, using itself to buy and sell, and X liquidity, and internal liquidity, and all that kind of good stuff, okay? The concept really is in 3 different phases, right? If you use all 3, that's okay. You can just use 2. You can use a light and heavy, a medium and heavy, a medium and light, whatever potentially you wanted to put it anyway. If you want to use all 3, this is where I feel the best. You can use as many as you want, but I think it's in the act of 3, right? So you have a light, you have a medium, and you have a heavy. The light one, of course, is all about the light transactions, you know, the 0.00 something, right? Or 0.0 something. The short time, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, right in that area. The medium is anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and the heavy is the 10 to 15 minute time frame, with the amounts being a little bit more, okay? Now, why it matters is because what drives real volume and attention is this process, that it's just not about being bundled, and you know, you get 2 buys and 1 sell all happening at one time, which makes it look like there's volume. But when they get to the chart, there's no volume intended. There's no volume that grows, right? There's no movement to the chart. And that's really frustrating. We want to see movement to the chart, because when buyers come or new holders come, they want to see action, even if it's repetitive, even if it's being done. When it's done consistently, this is where the real power is. It boosts the token's exposures without manually trading, because that's a pain in the ass. Who has time for that stuff? And this thing runs on its own 24/7, and it has some pretty powerful tools inside of it as well to allow it to use that cross hatching over and over and over again, up and down, without worrying about it all running out. It can run out if you use higher levels and more priority fees and all that stuff, but it's going to take a long time for it to get there. This is really great for promoting really steady rhythmic movement to the chart that people can predict and see and feel and utilize that, because you want day traders, you want scalpers, you want people to come, because that's where your secondary volume comes from. Okay, so keep that in mind. That in the old days of you gotta watch out for all the people who are going to use this extra liquidity and you can't trade, don't sell your chart, oh my god. You want chart movement, trust me, because you're going to gain a lot of people coming be able to do that. Just a whole bunch of people holding and waiting for the moon ain't going to do your chart anymore. Trust me, it's not there. It's also great for devs that love this process. Use their chart. They have a lot of money to the side. You can put your own token in it and utilize it to DCA in, DCA out. There's a lot of great stuff that the ANvil does, but in cross hatching, they use this level of creating movement from a dev point of view, but also from some of your secondaries, right? If they got $20, $30, $40, you can create a great cross hatching system in there just with like $200 or $300 if you want to. That'd be a really great one. But you can come down to the lowest rate. If you don't have a lot of money, you could do this at any level. Remember, the light just has to be about time. The heavy can be about, if it's heavy for you, then it could be $20 per trade or $5 per trade. The light could be cents. The heavy could be dollars. So you don't have to make this some big giant 50 soul thing. It could be a single soul, a half a soul, a quarter of a soul, and you're using this to create relevance, but movement in that relevance, which is perfect as well. So, I've talked enough about what cross hatching is. Let me begin by showing you the next level. Okay, I've switched over to this side now, and we're going to get started. We're in our ANvil MVM bot. And the first things I'm going to have you do in this little setup part of it is getting the wallets and everything else structured up. Remember, in our system, you can have multiple wallets. And if I hit my open wallet, I can see I can have one wallet. You can trade and have multiple swaps happening in a single wallet, but I don't want you to do that here. I want you to create 3 unique wallets. This is your light wallet, this is your heavy wallet, and this is your medium wallet if you're going to use the rule of 3, okay? But if you're going to use 2, then it's 2. But for every swap crosshatch line, I want you to use one particular wallet. How easy is it? It's this easy. I'm going to add a wallet, okay? And there it is, super easy. And I'm going to add another wallet. This gives me my 3. I'm going to have my last 4. If I respond to the last 4 on each one, this is where I'm going to now add a little bit in each. I'm going to decipher which one is my light one, my heavy, and write that down somewhere so you have the last 4 there. And this is where it gets a little convoluted, but you can get there. Trust me, it's very simple. We're going to get over to our Phantom wallet. We're going to draw money over it. And now what I need you to do is you're going to decide what you're going to start with, okay? And what I want you to remember is that you're going to start with, remember the number 10%, right? This is what we're going to be doing, 10%. That's all you're going to be utilizing. Now, what does 10% mean? That means if you got let's say you got $100 to start with, okay? You're going to use 10% for every wallet, not each one, but all combined, an equivalence of 10%. Remember that, okay? So what you're going to do out of that 100, that means that all 3 swaps should equal $10 at that point, at one point or another, right? But as you see here now, the breakdown here is I'm using 10%. We're going to use $100 as the main cumulative trade here. Okay, we're going to take that $100. We have 10% combined. We're going to take 2% from the main. Okay, so really, it's not 2% of the 10, it's 2% of 100, right? So this really would be 20% of the 10%. I know that sounds convoluted. Remember what I said, it gets a little convoluted, but I'm pretty sure you'll get this. Very simple math, okay? So out of the $100, at 2%, I'm going to take $2 per trade. So when we're setting up, we just set up all 3 wallets. We're going to take the 10%, which is, or the 2%, and that's going to be $2 a trade. The 3%, $3 a trade. 5%, $5 per trade, okay? Super easy. So just remember 2, 3, 5 when it comes to that position. Okay, so here we go. We're going to now get into doing the swaps. and get these on. So what I'm going to do is go to boost token. I'm going to choose my Shogun because that's the one we're going to use it on. I'm going to say add swap. Now what happens is that it's going to give me 3 wallets. Remember, we set up the 3 wallets. We put a little money in each one. Okay. Now remember that it might get a little bit mixed up here, but the lowest one here of the 0.13, this is my light wallet, right? Because I'm making that light hatch. So I'm going to click on it first. And I'm also going to choose, because remember that the timing is important too, the interval. So for light, you want to have 3 or 5, right? For medium, you want to have 5 to 10. And for heavy, you want to have 10 to 15. Really up to you at this point. There's no one golden ratio. It could be different for everybody's coin. Just choose something with and feel comfortable with it and just make the decision and pull the trigger. I'm going to choose 3. Now remember, I'm keeping the ratio to that light, medium, heavy as well. So I'm going to do a 2 to 1 on this one. Now you could do a 3 to 2 as long as the next one up, the medium, is a little higher than the lower. Okay. Again, nothing written heavy in stone. I just see that I seem to get more pressure from that system. Now, what to choose on the direction? We're only going to use 2-way because we want this thing to go until the soul runs out and then flip around and sell off the bag, then go soul back and forth and create this panel of hatching on the one level. So choose 2-way. Now, let's keep in mind 0.13. Now, how do I get to that $2 ratio that I wanted to trade? Well, 10% of that 1.3. So 1.3 is about $20, right? So at this level of soul. So right now I'm just going to do quick math and use 10% of that, the 0.13, to actually create my $2. So what that's going to be is 0.013. Okay, it's 10% of that, right? So super simple. I'm just going to then go and hit enter. I'm going to choose small. And there's my first line of strategy, right? That's the light strategy. It's going at 3 minutes. It's doing a 0.1013. Super simple, 2 to 1 sell, buy to sell ratio. Let's go, right? Now let's get into the medium one. Now I'm going to choose Shogun again. Oop, wrong one. Sorry. I'm going to choose wallets. No, we're going to choose activity. We're going to choose Shogun. We're going to choose add a swap. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's, we make these videos. We try to do them in one take wonders, but they never happen that way. So now we remember that see, it's already fired. One of them's already fired off at that point. So remember the next one up. So it's the 0.185 is the next one. So this is 0.3. This is already fired out there. So what we're going to do is go here. We're going to click on. Now remember, this is the medium one. So I don't want to choose 3. I want to choose 5. So I'm going to click 5. Okay. Now the other one was 3.3 or 2 to 1. We're going to do this one to do 3 to 2. I'm going to hit return. I'm going to choose 2-way. Now the amount, I'm going to do 10% of my starting balance here. Again, we're going to do 0.085. Oop, no, we forgot the 0 max. Oh, there it is. Okay, this will give me 10% of that value. We're going to hit enter. We're going to use small, and boom, there's the second one. Okay, now we're going to do it again. We're going to hit activity. We're going to choose it in. Now remember, add a swap. We're going to add the wallet that has the most in it. That's the 0.26 one. We're going to click on that. I'm going to choose 10 minutes here because I want them to be sort of interlinked 1, 2, 3 straight up. The 3 will never fire in the 5 range. The 5 may fire in the 10, but since I'm holding it in between, it won't be every exactly 10 minutes from now or 5 minutes from now. It's not on the 5. So I'm keeping it a little bit obscure. Okay. Now on this one, I'm going to choose a 4 to 3. I'm going to click enter. We're going to do 2-way. We're going to create the same thing again, 0.026. That'll give me to that level, and I'm going to choose small. Okay. Now, I can look at the activities. I can see that they're all there. They're all firing. They'll all be on. I'm going to go over to my chart now, and we're going to look and kind of wait for things to start to fulfill in. But this is pretty much it, so I'll be right back. Okay, now we're back over here. We are on our chart, and I don't want to wait around for 10 minutes. It's probably going to happen while I'm talking to you in this last couple seconds here. But as you see, we've had 2 fire off overlapping. We have the 216 and the 515. Okay, and this is good because it is an overlap, and you can kind of see like it's continuing to happen. We have the 0.018, the 0.013, and the 0.031 happening. This trade here was an accident. I put it in the swap. It happened at the same time. I was changing the video and it happened there. You know, and that's why I was laughing in the video earlier, is because I've already made one mistake in the video. But this stuff happens. I'm experienced doing this, so it sometimes will even happen to me. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. It will recuperate. It's there, right? It's all good. So that's how cross hatching works. You get it out there, it overlays. Now we're in the buy phase right now. Remember, the 2 to 1 will do 2 trades. So here in that point, and then recollapse in and do another one. It'll keep going on. So we're good with the cross hatch process. Once we get into the sell phase, they shouldn't always overlap. They may in the very beginning as things start to come up, but it'll all come out in the wash there as things start going on. But track your progress. See what it looks like. Look on the chart for me. It's up arrows all the way because there is some money coming into the chart. As things come back down and they all start to rotate, you should see this change of how much is happening in volume over a period of time. Okay, because that's the big thing for all the volume systems in there. No other volume system does this, and I hope that you enjoy it. I'm Trader Max. This has been cross hatching with the ANvil MVM 2.5. We'll see you next time, and as always, trade well.